thank you for purchasing one of our cabinets. Today we're going to show you the assembly of a locker from the Viper tool storage. To begin, make sure you lay all your parts down and familiarize yourself with them. Next, install the hinges to your doors. Take the hinge, if it's locked, lift the pin, push the hinge in place and lock it down. Repeat for all the remaining hinges on parts TT and SS. The next step in the assembly process will be to install the hinge plates to parts GG and HH. Take a hinge plate, align it with the two holes that are facing the front of the cabinet, and make sure that the oval slot is facing toward the front and the open slot is facing toward the back. In this instance, I'm going to be using a hand drill. You can use it, making sure that you don't over tighten them. The next step in the process would be to lay part HH on a clean flat surface with all the grooves and the hinge plates facing upwards. Pick up part OO, which will be the top of the cabinet, and line it up at the end where the back groove is not going through. Push it in and slightly lock it forward so it stays in place. Repeat the same process for the bottom of the cabinet, which is part VV, where the groove extends through. Locking it slightly in place. The next step will be to place the nailers, which is part D2 for the top and bottom. They're identical, making sure that the metal pins are facing toward part VV and part OO. Lock it slightly in place. And the last clip is part D3, which is in the center. It does not have any metal pins. Line it up and slightly lock it in place. In the next step, you are going to need a buddy to place the top of the cabinet and lock them together. For this step, pick up part GG with your friend, tilt it upside down, and make sure that you place it carefully without knocking any of the previously positioned parts away from the cabinet. Line all the green clips with their lock slots and push them down. Now we need to tilt the cabinet and lay it back on the ground. Make sure you hold parts GG and HH together. And you can put pressure on part OO and lock it down. Turn the cabinet around. And now we slide part B4 into the grooves on the bottom all the way forward. The next step, flip the cabinet on part HH, grab B4 and walk around, line it up with the grooves on the back of the cabinet. And begin sliding it forward, making sure it's not hitting the nailers on the back. Once you have inserted part B4 all the way as far as possible, tilt the cabinet on its back and lift it using your buddy or yourself on part OO. This way the back will align itself and fall into place easier. From forward. Make sure it locks in past the bottom. Tilt the cabinet back on its back. Lock part VV down and install the feet of the cabinet. Insert them into the grooves with the 2 lock slots and twist them to lock in place. Now stand up your cabinet on part VV. And we're going to fasten our wall clits. Align the metal pins with the holes. Using your provided hammering block. Tap them in place. You can lock the middle nailer down by itself and repeat the same process for the top, where you put the cabinet on its back and tilt it on the top of it. Align the metal pins. Using your provided hammering block, tap it in place. Once you step your cabinet up, if you need adjustment and you feel like your floor is not leveled, you can rotate the feet until it's secure. And now we can install the doors. Line up the hinges with the hinge plates and lock them in place. If your doors don't line up, refer to your manual. There's an adjustment option explained. And the final step in assembling your cabinet will be to install the handles. Unpack them and insert the bolts provided into the handle holes. Line them up with your handle and hand tighten them just enough so your handle can stay secure. Finish it up using your hand screwdriver, making sure not to over tighten them.
To see more great products from Viper Tool Storage, log on to vipertoolstorage.com.